Good morning, children. In this video, we are going to read another poem from your book, The Kite. Children, have you ever heard about kite or have you ever flown any kite? I guess you must have, right? So, whenever you hold a kite, there is a lot of fun and there is a lot of excitement regarding how far your kite will go in the sky, because whenever you hold the string of a kite, you definitely think that your kite should go to the highest point, means your kite should fly higher than the kite of anybody, right? So this poem, The Kite, is all about the colorful kites that you must have flown some or many times in your life. So before starting the poem, we will first know something about its poet, Harry Benn. So Harry Benn was an American screenwriter and children's author. Children's authors means he used to write a lot of things, a lot of poems, stories for especially the children, for especially you children. And where and when he was born? He was born on 24th September 1898 in Arizona, United States, and he died on 6 September 1973 in Greenwich, United States. And he was educated from Howard University in 1922. His very famous works are the screenplays including The Big Parade and Hell's Angel. So he has written for a lot of films also, and The Big Parade and Hell's Angels are the two of them. Or yes, so The Kite. In this poem we are going to read about kite. So the line says, how bright on the blue is a kite when it's new, with a dive and a dip it snaps its tail. Children, what does this line means? It means when the kite is flying in the blue sky, how bright it looks. When a kite is new and when it flies in the sky, it looks very bright, it looks very colorful. With a dive and a dip it snaps its tail. With a dive means what? Plunge means gote lagana, upar niche ana. And dip means what? Bend, jhukav. And snaps means makes a cracking sound. So whenever you hold a kite, whenever you fly a kite, it always dives and dip means it looks like the waves. Sometimes it goes higher, sometimes it comes lower, and it makes a cracking sound, it makes a snapping sound. Cracking sound means farfarane ki awaaz. So the sound of the kite is like cracking sound. Then soars like a ship with only a sail, as over tides of wind it rides, climb to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. Then what the poet is saying? Then soars like a ship. Soars like a ship means then the kite, when the air flies, when the wind blows, what happens? The kite flies like a ship and it rises up and down like a tide. Children, have you seen tide in the sea? Tide means lehar. So as the waves go up and down, in the same way the kites also, when it flies in the sky, it also moves in the same way. Sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. So climbs to the crest of guts and pulls. Climbs to the crest means the kite goes to the topmost height, it goes to the highest point. How? By the wind it rides. By the wind means with the help of the wind the kite goes to the highest point in the sky, then seem to rest as wind falls. And when the wind becomes slow. When the wind is at rest, the kite also rests for some time. When the wind blows fast, the kite also goes to the high point, and when there is less wind or when there is no wind, the kite also take rest for some times. When the string goes slack means to become loose. Now what the poet is saying, that when the string goes slack, you wind it back. So when you loosen its string means dhaga, so the kite is flown with the help of a string for sure. So when the string becomes loose, you wind it back means you roll it back. When the string of the kite becomes loose, you starts rolling its string, right? Then what happens, and run until a new breeze blows. And then what you do, then you start running until that time, until the wind blows means when the wind starts blowing, then you stop. Otherwise you keep running so that your kite can fly high, and its wing feel, and up it goes, and its wings fill. What does this mean? Means when the kite is filled with air, when the wings of the kite is filled with air, again it starts going upwards. And how bright in the blue is a kite when it's new. So when the kite is new, it looks very bright in the sky, it looks very much colorful in the sky. But a raggeder thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of the tree. Now children, what does this line mean? Sometimes what happens, that your kite is stuck to a tree or to some building. So that time its condition is like a rough, its condition is like torn. ragged means very torn, फटा हुआ, बहुत ही रफ जैसा दिखने में. So but a raggeder thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of tree. So that time when the kite is new, it looks very bright in the blue sky. But when it stuck to any tree, when it struck to any building, that time what happens, it looks very much ugly, it looks very helpless, because that time the kite cannot fly, it has broken from its wings, it breaks away from its wings. That is why when the kite is stuck to the top of a tree, it is not able to fly, and that time it looks very much dull and very much rough. So this was the story of the kite, that when the kite is new, it looks very colorful, it looks very bright, it flies high in the sky when it gets a lot of air. But when the air is mild, it also lowers its speed. And finally when the kite is stuck with any tree, what happens, its condition is very much helpless and it is not able to fly that time. So children, hope you have understood the story of kite. Thank you.